to see indeed. Green flag is back in the air. Not a lot of time left. And a big
Oh,
stack
there
up,
it
and
is.
they're going to wreck right here down the front straightaway, assuming this is going to lead to another caution. And
Number
it
9.
will right there. Number 9 indeed. And a big pileup coming through the tri-oval. All started, Terry, with a lot of wheel spin, which, again, we've talked about. It's not uncommon for these guys to wreck into the tri-oval on a restart, but we have seen it very frequently here tonight.
Yeah, a lot of games being played on the restarts, and I'm sure race control will have a lot to say about it. You see right here, the gamesmanship started up front. It all literally started at the second row. Checking up just to check up, and you see it there. All the way back, it begins to build the accordion effect. And that's what we've seen. We've seen a lot of accordion effects throughout this race on the restarts. They're not spinning tires here. They're playing the jump game. They're jumping and then either missing a shift or they're trying to get somebody down low. That's the teammate aspect to this. You're trying to put somebody down on the bottom lane to work with them to the very end. You're trying to do this, trying to do that. And green-white checkered attempt number 2 out of our 7.
Yeah, green-white checkered attempt number 2 out of our 7 is going to be coming here. And it's just a product of, obviously, the super speedway racing that kind of comes with it. You know, you don't really see a ton of times where you'll see a wreck on the initial restart or start, but they can happen. Think back to the 2020 Busch Light Clash here. A lot of the field wheel spin, bumping, beating, banging, games on the restarts, and it caused a massive wreck going into the tri-oval right at the restart. Ryan Newman, Martin Truex Jr., a few other drivers got involved in that one that day. It led us to one of the craziest finishes ever in an exhibition race in NASCAR. Obviously, Eric Jones taking home the win that day with probably the most tore-up race car I have ever seen win a race besides Terry Labonte in the late 90s at Bristol after Dale Earnhardt got into him coming to the checkered flag. But now we still have a lot of these guys that were right there up on that restart, still up here at the front. Navarro's going to lead them back down. Aubrey Thompson's going to be up on the outside. Mills and Elliott. Then you have Clayton White, David Feit right there in the number 1 machine. So this is still going to be very aggressive. And Terry, I guess I'll ask you the question again, man. You think we're done wrecking, or you think these guys are going to buckle down and get ready to go back racing and get to the checkered flag cleanly?
I mean, I don't necessarily think we're done wrecking, but then again, you know, who am I, right? I don't think the wrecking will end per se. It's common. I mean, it's common here, regardless of where you're at. You are going to see that type of style of aggression start to pick up. Everybody gets itchy. You get itchy in these times. Like, you want to race hard. Like, you want to put yourself in that position to fight for that win. And unfortunately for a lot of these drivers, going 2 and 3 wide here isn't necessarily their favorite thing to do. We saw the first 30-ish laps be decent, but past that, it has been fun.
Yeah, it has been all hell has broken loose ever since the halfway point, pretty much, in this race. I guess, Terry, you could say when the lights come on, everything just kind of really gets ramped up big time and everybody gets really aggressive. I wish we could see a full moon possibly. I know we don't have the option to see that, but I mean, that's just what happens usually. You know, the sun goes down, the lights come on, everybody gets really aggressive, gives you that Saturday night short track feel, or college football, depending on what you like. Terry,
Go Vols.
College, yeah, of course, there you go. I had to do that. Go Vols. I don't really have a college football team, but since I'm from Jersey, I guess I have to go Rutgers if I had to. Even though, hey man, listen, don't budge into me, okay? I don't know nothing about college football. I'm a Jets fan. We're having a terrible season. I don't know what to root for, who to root for, but at least I got my man Ryan Blaney coming home with the 2023 Cup Series championship, so that's something I had to look forward to. Hey, he finally gets one of those Cup Series championship, you know, put right on his fire suit right there on the thread, so it should be nice to see him. But again, these guys going to get back racing. Going to be 2 laps to go. Navarro and Thompson going to lead them down. And Terry, these are 2 guys who are very good at leading lanes. And if you're those guys, do you trust who's behind you? Navarro's going to have Justin Mills, and the 38 is going to have to deal with Richard Elliott. So I'm not too sure which one of these lanes is going to be the best right here on the restart.
I'm not always speechless, but I've seen a lot of these drivers involved in a wreck, and there's a lot of damage up inside this top 10. How they're still in the top 10 is shocking to me, to say the least. I don't necessarily. I don't know how Hall is up there or McKee is up there. We saw the one almost get turned a couple times, make some contact. Navarro's been involved in, I think, 5 now. Still doing good, leading the race. We'll see if the green-white checkered attempt, if this if this ends our night, or if we go again. I think we're gonna go once mo.
Once mo for show, as they say, and they're going to be coming back down into the restart zone again here. Green flags back in the air. Will this be the final time? We'll see the green flag be waved. Andrew Navarro gets out to a comfortable lead, trying to figure out who he's going to go with. He's stuck in the middle right there. He'll elect to go to the bottom, help from Justin Mills. And up at the top, Elliott gives the push from Thompson, who has a little bit of damage on that right rear quarter panel. That could hinder this top lane possibly. Oh, and a little contact. They save it, though. Clayton White with a hell of a save coming off turn number 2. But as they head down the Daytona super stretch, they're side by side for the race lead, Navarro and Thompson.
All we have to do is complete a half a lap more at this moment here. Now a quarter of a lap to put the white flag in the air for the ugly sweater 250 here at Daytona. Can Andrew Navarro get us to the white flag without seeing Barney wave the yellow? 20 feet, 30 feet, 5 feet, white flags in the air. 1 lap to go around Daytona. 2.3 miles now as they sit. Navarro leads them into 1. There's the 2 of Mills. He's going to go around. Now it puts Elliott. It's a 2-horse race with $1 to spare.
2-horse race like Ricky Bobby and Jean Girard back in Talladega Nights. The field piles up behind him. Navarro, Thompson, front of the field. What will they do? Thompson all over the back bumper. It's going to come to the last corner. Thompson right on the bumper, trailing back by a little less than a quarter of a car length, and off turn number 4 for the inaugural Ugly Sweater 250. Here comes Thompson. He'll pull out a line. Will he pull the Kyle Busch to the line? Checkered flag. Thompson gets it by just a nose over Andrew Navarro for the race lead, showing on the scoring monitor by less than 100th of a second. I called it, Terry. Aubrey Thompson, your race winner here in the main event's Ugly Sweater 250. What a finish.
That was the most incredible pullout I have ever seen in my life. To get that spot pulled out almost right at the pit entry and was able to make that move stick. He stayed off the back bumper. That was the key. That was the winning moment in this event. As you see here, he pulls out and right about here takes the race lead. And that is the margin that he gets it done by. And the moment that had to be the wildest thing. If he would have touched the back bumper of the 42 at any point in time, coming to the checkered flag, race over. That is race over, and what a finish. I mean, that was a bat an eyelash, and you don't know who wins.
Yeah, and you know what the thing is, too, right there, is I thought he was going to side draft him more. That 38 machine, when he pulled out a line, Terry, he did not really hit the 42. He wasn't locked onto his bumper, nothing, and he didn't really side draft him coming to the line. And you have to think, too, maybe the reason why the 42 couldn't keep up with him as much was probably because of that damage on the right front. You saw back before when we were looking at the replay, that 42 machine had damage on the right front fender. And then there's some damage on the left side. So Andrew Navarro's been involved in quite a bit tonight.